for the Stranger Things Thrasher shirt, I found this picture online, and then I'm taking a piece of paper and I'm just popping that onto my computer. It's saved there fine. And then I'm tracing it onto the paper, and you have to be light. But then I put tape over it. I would not recommend doing that, but it just didn't help. So basically, you're going to take that piece and then cut it out with an X-Acto knife. And then once you cut it out with an X-Acto knife, you should have a stencil. And use that stencil to just place it on your shirt and then start going with the paint. So I just dabbed paint on, and I taped it around the outside so it'd stay still. And the reason why this is so dirty is because I previously did my friend, so this is actually the second one that I've done. And I just dabbed that on, and I would recommend saving the pieces that go into the R and the A, but I didn't do that, and I just filled it in with white paint afterwards. So after you're done putting in all the paint, I would fill it in with white paint. Not all of it, but just some of the edges and like parts you messed up on. So I took yellow and I just dabbed it on, and I'm sorry for the bad lighting. I didn't have my studio light set up, and I'm really sorry for that. But then after that, you're going to go in with red or orange paint, and you want to get darker on the edges. So you start with the lightest color and then get darker, and I just dabbed it on all throughout. And it was super easy, and then once you're done all the imperfections, just put white acrylic paint onto with like a fine tip pencil or something. Okay, so for the DIY patches, what I'm doing is I'm taking just a piece of scrap fabric, and then I actually made a circular stencil, and I just traced like a cup or something, and then I cut it out with an X-Acto knife, and then I filled that in with blue acrylic paint. Actually, I think I used blue fabric paint, but the rest was all acrylic, and I like using acrylic because it lasts after you wash it, and everything, it lasts super well, and it doesn't harden, but it's way cheaper than fabric paint. It's like 50 cents a bottle sometimes. So I'm just doing the little NASA like stripes, and then I'm adding stars with a nail daughter. You can use like a tip of a pencil, really anything works as long as you get that shape. So I'm just adding in stars, and then I actually started freehanding the Stranger Things logo. It did not turn out amazing. I would wait for the paint to dry before you do that, and then trace it on with a pencil first. I didn't do that. I just went straight in, and it wasn't amazing. But then you cut it out, and I left a little bit of a border. That's completely optional, but I cut it out, and then I actually started working on another one, and this is going to be Dustin's hat, and as you can see, it took me so long to figure out how to draw it. It just took me forever. So I went in with blue paint on the sections of those blue, and as you can see, I wrote ST, and all I did is I just put this in like regular ink, and it didn't come off in the washer or dryer, so that's great. And then I filled in the bill with red paint, and as you can see, my bun's like in the shot, and I'm so sorry guys. My DIY setup with my camera is a lot different than usual, so I'm still getting used to it, so I'm really sorry for that. But then I took some white acrylic paint and I just outlined the edges to really make it nice, and then I cut that out too, and I think it turned out pretty nice. It was kind of small, so I don't know what you want to do with that. But then afterwards, I just took some like fabric glue, and I laid that down with actually the edge of a pencil, and I just evenly spread it out. But then there's other things that you could use, like iron seam, like that seam stuff that you only have to iron, so that would be great. But all I did was fabric glue because I figured that that would work best, and I just laid that on to the sweater, and it turned out super cute. As you can see, my Stranger Things is a little bit off-centered, but it turned out great.